I haven't timed that thing right once. Anyway, before floor, an extension of 5 on the floor on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Make sure you get your Biscayne Bay Brew. I had some of these on the beach yesterday. Had the IPA. This is the Pale Ale. Dig into one of these a little bit later. They've got 3 other beers as well that you need to check out. The official beer of the 5 Reasons Sports Network, which makes it the official beer of this particular program and of our YouTube channel and of the Miami Marlins, and it should be everybody's official beer. So make sure you ask for it at Publix or at any local restaurant. Got the Marlins Lager right there up on the right. See, look who's pushing the Marlins Lager, because Alejandro was there for the first day of spring training today. All right, our producer Alejandro Villegas, let's get to our crew tonight. It's the usual crew. We've got Brady Hawk, we've got Jonathan Ramlakan, we've got Ricky J. Mark, we've got Greg Sylvander, and we've got me. This is our starting 5 plus our 6th man. The Heat will be without one of their starting 5 players tonight. Just as it starts to get good, it goes bad. Brady, give us the news.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler's out and Tyler Hero is returning.
Okay. So one's back, one's gone. And I guess the easy question to ask now is, what the hell? Well, it's not so easy. What do they do with the starting lineup? I mean, Nunn's going to be in there. Obviously, Robinson will be in there. Kelly Olynyk, who has the best plus-minus numbers in the league. He misses 12 threes a game, and they're plus 20 with him on the court. Typically how things go lately. It's very weird. Who do we think replaces him? KZ Okpala, maybe, as a placeholder? He was used the other night.
This is such a weird question. Like, I didn't really even consider this in terms of Jimmy being out and who would sub in the starting lineup. Because would they throw Tyler Hero right back into the starting lineup just to kind of plug that spot as a scorer? I think they'd want to keep Goran off the bench. So it's hard to determine whether they're going to go with a plug and play guy like you mentioned, like KZ, or if they're going to try to springboard and because this is the thing, man, the Heat have sucked without Jimmy. So like you can't afford to just bring a placeholder out onto the court. You need like production immediately, because if not, you're going to lose. So like they're going to need Dragic or Hero, I think.
Here's another option. This is a crazy option. Mo Harkless.
Yes.
I like it better than KZ. I hate to say that, guys. Sorry.
I mean that.
No, it's fair. That's fair.
I mean that's no. Hero is back, Florence. That is Hero's back. Jimmy's out. I mean it could be Harkless, because look, the question is who's more likely to be able to do some of the things that Jimmy does, and the reality is on this team no one. But Harkless, I don't know if they've run offense through him, but I feel like defensively that might be an option there, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's an option for one, because I don't think they trust KZ Okpala at this stage. I don't even think KZ Okpala really trusts KZ Okpala at this stage. When he talks about, the things today, he was mentioning words like glitches, and it just seems like just spotting. Like he's not comfortable in defensive sets. He's not comfortable in the offense. Clearly, we've seen that he's very passive, doesn't know where to be in the offense. But the one thing we thought defensively that you could just stick him out there to do, it doesn't seem like he really fits at this moment. So it does seem like it makes more sense to go with Mo Harkless. But I would, if I had to guess, I'd probably think they'd go with Tyler Hero and just trying to go early and trying to score.
Actually, this is another good option, potentially, Jonathan. You just started Iguodala.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one I was actually thinking that could potentially be it, because then you can still save that Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic 1-2 punch off the bench.
That's a good point.
Kendrick Nunn could still come in. You'll have a de facto point guard in Andre Iguodala and then Bam. So you'll still have a couple of creators. You'll have that guy that can go get his bucket in Kendrick Nunn. If he continues that streak to play like what he was playing like before, I feel like he can give us a good game as well. So I like the Iguodala fit, especially defensively. And then you can still give big minutes to Hero and maybe like 25 minutes, 30 minutes to Goran coming off the bench as well.
Iggy is the answer to everything these days.
Well, he is. I mean, at age 37, at age 47, he'll still be the answer to everything. By the way, question came in, what's the issue? It's a knee soreness issue for Jimmy. And again, you don't want to take any chances with that. Christian asks the question there. I've got Nick's stuff for you today, Ricky, so I was saving that. So I'm going to go to you in a second, but I've got a whole little corner of this. That's right.
I thought that's where we were going to start.
Well, we got to talk about Jimmy, Greg. I mean, come on. We'll get to Ricky on this. But, okay, so we've got our options are – it's not going to be Dragic. The options are Harkless, Hero, Iguodala, Okpala. should we say who's the best option or who's the option we think Spo's going to take? There's two different things. I think Iggy's the best option.
Well, it seems like the Heat would just go with an option that you didn't name and would just go with Max Strus, something that we haven't discussed.
Yeah.
That just seems like the Miami Heat way. So I don't know which way they would go.
Chris
Precious.
Silva. Chris, go big. Go big or go
I
home.
could see Harkless working, because if you think about it, who you start doesn't mean he has to play after the 8-minute mark in the first quarter. You know,
Right.
If Harkless goes out there, plays 3 minutes, I can't imagine him being too catastrophic. But if he does well, it's good. You start him, you play him a little bit. If he doesn't work, you sit him for the rest of the game. You bring Iggy off the bench. Nobody loses their rhythm. Everybody wins, in theory. So that could be a thing.
I mean, it's the placeholder concept. It's the old James Jones concept. Although James Jones did no damage, I don't know about Mo at this stage. All right, we'll circle back to this, but I want to let Ricky come back in. The worst tweet in the history of tweets was tweeted today by someone named Brandon Tierney. Are you familiar with Mr. Tierney?
I've heard him before, and I've seen his blasphemy. Believe me, I saw it.
Okay, so Brandon Tierney tweeted today that I believe it was that he essentially said the answer is yes to whether this Julius Randle, through I guess 30 games of the season on his 12th team, is and deserving All-Star, but still a player that the Lakers basically gave away, is better than peak Bosh. Go.
Okay, so here's the thing. I know, first of all, Ben, it's not a perm, it's water and gel, baby. Okay, that's one. Two, here's the thing. I know. I have this reputation for being the quote unquote Knick fan on this network, but here's the thing. That is absolute blasphemy. Okay, blasphemy. Chris Bosh is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Julius Randle, if he has maybe 5 or 6 more seasons like this, can then maybe be entered in the conversation of greatest, the more talented power forwards of all time. Julius Randle has a long way to go before he comes anywhere close to Chris Bosh, who, let's just put it like this, right? Chris Bosh took 2 really bad Toronto Raptors teams to the playoffs in the in the 2000s. Julius Randle on those teams win 23 games max. I give credit where credit is due to the New York Knicks right now. They're doing very well. And it seems to me it looks like they're probably not going to be fading into that long good night like they always do. But let's cool it down a little bit. He deserves to be an all-star this season. He's 24, 10, and 5, very talented. 7th pick in the draft, so we're not going to discount his talent too much. But Chris Bosh went, I think, number 4 for a reason. This guy is this is the kind of player we're talking about here, where if he were still in the league today, he would probably still be good for 19 to 20 points a game based on what he brings to the table. So let's calm down on let's calm down with this whole short memory about Chris Bosh. This man was 24, 10, and 4 the year before he came to Miami, and then willingly became a third banana with the other guys. So let's calm that down. The Knicks are doing well, but let's chill out. This is like the first time the Knicks have been under. This the first time the Knicks have been at 500. I mean, they've been at 500 after 34 games, I think 6 times in the last 25 to 30 years.
And they're dancing in the streets, which is hilarious.
Yes. In the middle of a pandemic. So let's calm down. It's not that deep yet.
There will be a parade down Fifth Avenue, if they finish 6 games under 500. So we'll be there for that one. It did allow me to get off my favorite tweet that I've tweeted in the last few months, which is that, can we just admit that this Kendrick Nunn is better than peak John Starks? And I had a Starks jersey, but could we just all come to that conclusion? That's it?
I'm not doing that.
It was pretty bold, actually. But
the numbers are better, Greg.
It's not as bad as the Bosh Randle thing. That's for damn sure.
So here's the interesting thing. The interesting conversation that we have within the network in terms of Bam's defensive numbers giving him the edge over guys like Sabonis and all these other guys in terms of all-star picks, right? Kendrick Nunn on defense, John Starks on defense. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, Starks. But I will say this. It's an interesting. I'm playing. Okay, I literally. Ricky has admitted the only jersey I ever owned was a John Starks jersey.
Yeah,
okay,
Kendrick has to do it in the playoffs a bit more and really establish himself. But Ethan, I get where you were going with it.
Do you think Kendrick Nunn goes 2 of 18 in a finals game
that is damn positive. That possible. Excuse me.
Well, hey, Hubert Davis was on the bench that whole
I
time.
know.
That's on Pat.
I know that was on Pat. That was Pat's fault. But let's, you know what? This is an interesting way for us to cycle back. Nick slander is always appreciated here. Again, I think they've made the playoffs 5 times in the past 19 years, whereas the Heat have missed it 4 times. But the Kendrick Nunn conversation is a good one. Ricky, I want to go to you on. Excuse me, Brady. I want to go to you on this because you did a breakdown of him. To me, the biggest thing with him is the offense, the confidence. But you saw that last year. He's a much better defender than he was last season. Like, he has become, I don't know if he's a plus defender yet, but he's not a bad defender anymore. He's at least average at this stage, which, if that's the case, it's going to make it harder to part with him.
Yeah, he showed signs with the ability to hit passing lanes even before these strides. And I think the game against the Warriors when he guarded Curry off the ball, even though Curry was getting open looks, that wasn't the reason he was missing. But he was guarding him very well off the ball. I think another thing, he guards bigger guys. He's capable of guarding bigger guys when they try to post him up. He has a physical frame, so he can guard guys like that. He's able to chase guys out on the perimeter a lot more and effectively. I think he used to be one of those guys that would foul quite a lot running out. He's kind of contained himself. So I think there's plenty of positive signs there. I think there's still obviously a lot more room to improve, but the improvements he's made to this point are truly good to cap off his offensive success.
You know what? Just because of that, Ricky, I want to let you know, I was cleaning out some stuff because I got a 5 reasons box here. I found an extra Manscaped box, okay? And just as a result, and it's because people are making donations to you, I'm going to actually, now that you're back in America, I'm actually going to send that to you this week. Use the code 5RSN, by the way. Use the code 5RSN to get 20% off. Jonathan, you did a good, the bad, and the ugly.
God.
How did you find any ugly off that Utah game?
Honestly, it was really hard to. That was one of the harder games. The bad part was just like 3 seconds long. It was just me saying KZ Okpala because that was all the bad that I could really take out of the game. And for the ugly, what I did was I just ranted on all the reporters that were talking about this Heat team being a fluke team before and us showing that this is actually prime Heat team. And this is the first time we saw this team look like the finals team from last year. So as far as the bad and the ugly goes from last game, obviously, we gave up a lot of points, but we're going against one of the better offensive teams in the league. So, I mean, it was really hard to take away some bad things from that game. I think we did a pretty phenomenal job, probably, putting 2 complete games together for the first time all season and having us look like a finals team again.
And that's why Jimmy's out tonight, to punish everybody for that. So we may go back to ugly. By the way, I want to clarify one thing because my comments at the very beginning of 5 on the Floor got a hell of a lot of attention.
Yeah, Deadspin.
Deadspin. I saw that, which got me a call from the NBA, actually. So I want to clarify. Pull back on me. I didn't comb my hair today. Come on. Good stuff. Literally just ran in here. Okay?
It's your exclusive, Ethan. You get all the attention.
That's a bad thing. But I just want to make something clear because I think it got aggregated in a certain way. The NBA never officially, this was the clarification that I got, officially extended the invitation to Jimmy. But Jimmy made it known to the NBA he wasn't going without Bam. Do people understand that distinction? Like, it wasn't like formal offer. Okay, I don't know, Rick. Greg, you were on the pod with me. I don't know how I put it. I thought that's how I put it.
Yeah. Well, those rules are a little bit like not everybody really follows the league to that level of detail anyway. So, when you talk about like how it works, I think it's just more of that Jimmy made it known throughout the league, as I understood it from you, is that he made it known throughout the league that if Bam wasn't going, he wasn't going, and that enabled them to make other decisions.
Throughout the league. He made it known to the point that they basically had their tail between their legs on it, and
moved right on.
As far as an official, and maybe I should have been clearer on it, the same point stands, though, okay? It was just interesting to watch it get aggregated because, it's like a telephone game. Once it starts to get aggregated, it got further and further away from my report to the point that Deadspin's just throwing any shit on there. And I can guarantee you that Deadspin did not listen to the 6th minute of 5 on the Floor from the other night. They just aggregated the aggregators, which is how this thing works these days. So I just want to be clear on that. It's the same point. Jimmy didn't want to go without his teammate. That's the point, okay? And that's, I hope people understood that. All right, let's get to tonight. Even the Knicks fan can jump in here. Atlanta's a really weak defensive team, but they can shoot a bunch of threes. And without Jimmy, there may be an issue here. So is anybody picking the Hawks tonight?
I'm not picking the Hawks. but this game is a tell for me personally, because I think if, we just did a pod and the title was They're Back, right? Like that's what we talked about. If they're back with Hero back in the lineup, Goran in the lineup, and the way that they've been playing with the ball movement so much better, Bam needs to be as aggressive as ever tonight, and they should get this game. They're at home. There's just no questions asked. So, like, this is going to tell me whether they are just truly riding the coattails of Jimmy, or if some of this is coming together collectively in different ways that are going to extend beyond, just this 5-game winning streak.
Anybody like the Hawks tonight?
I think I might be the closest person here to liking the Hawks because this has the potential to be a real trap game for Miami. Like you said, they're back in theory, but this is the type of game where just as you're starting to get your swag back, the Hawks come in and smack you when they're not supposed to. And look, I think I liken Trae Young to a Jeremy Lin. Oh, thank you. Okay. I liken Jeremy Lin. I liken Trae Young to a kind of Jeremy Lin type, where if it's very possible to bully this guy into having a really bad game. I could see it happening. Thank you. I could see it happening, and my take just good job.
Does everybody realize what Alejandro just did? All right, that's fine. I don't. It took me a second. Also, it's all right, Ricky. That's fine. Jonathan, Brady, who do you like tonight?
No, I like. No, you
go ahead. Hey, go ahead, Brady.
No, I like Miami tonight. I think that Atlanta is going to win the free throw battle, obviously, because they're a top free throw attempt team. Jimmy Butler being out obviously hurts them in that area as well. So I don't think it's as much about Bam Adebayo getting the shots up, which he needs to, but I do think he's going to need to attack the rim, get to the basket, try to get to the free throw line, because that's the way that they can continue and try to get this game.
Yeah, and to add on that, I like Brady was saying, he's a little bit faster than Clint Capella. He's one of those guys that, Clint's a little bit longer, and, he's noticeably, we've always talked about how Bam struggle against those longer big guys, but Bam has the speed advantage on those big guys. So this is a game where I want to see him use his speed advantage against Capella and maybe use his strength advantage against somebody like John Collins if they end up having him on them as well. And I think our backcourt could be pretty successful as well because they have Trae Young and Kevin Huerter as their two backcourt guys. This is a game where Kendrick Nunn can go off, carry a lot of the scoring load, and defensively off the bench, maybe Rondo or our old friend Solomon Hill could come back and give them some good minutes. But they're not a particularly deep team. They're probably missing Gallinari as well. Right. I think as well as a couple of their main guys. So this is a game where I think we really can just outshoot them and score at a high level. Maybe have like 5 or 6 guys, with 15 points or more.
K-Nunn.
Oh, okay.
Playoff Rondo has not been in existence since the bubble, so I don't know that there's a big concern about him. Interesting, a couple names you mentioned there. Clint Capella is the guy that we used to compare Bam to. We thought that was the Bam upside. It's funny how that's changed.
Oh my gosh!
And the second thing about this is, let's watch John Collins tonight.
Yeah, that's a good
bit
point.
Of an audition potentially. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. He's still the one big that, to me, might get me to throw some things on the table here. So let's it'll be interesting to watch him for 2 straight games back pretty close to his hometown. All right, Alejandro, you like the Heat or not?
Yes, I do. I do have
we don't have to put Knicks fan up next to you. We appreciate that. All right, post game, totally different crew. 5 Reasons Skyforce will be on there. So Ariel and Gad, and also who else we got on there? I know Brian
Simba
there tonight, but totally different crew on there. Ricky's coming on there tonight too, Jonathan. So you guys can try to control our G Leaguers down there, but. Totally different crew there, and then Alex, I believe, will be joining Greg and I on 5 on the Floor, but he may be there. I got to talk to him because he's actually, I believe, at the arena tonight as well. The arena on Tuesday. PrizePicks.com. Use the code 5 FIVE. Get your bonus. MyBookie.ag. Use the code 5 Manscaped. Unless you're Ricky, in which case you're getting one for free. Use the code 5 RSN. Have a good night.
Your balls will thank you.
All right, now let's listen to Eric Spoelstra's pregame conference earlier today. So say what he said about tonight's matchup against the Atlanta Hawks. All right, let's listen to him. Here we go.
Hey, Coach, we're going to get started with Ira Wonderman. Eric, can you sort of take us through the Jimmy Butler thing with the knee inflammation and where that stands with you guys?
He went through shoot around today, and it didn't loosen up, the way he wanted it to, and we just want to be proactive about it. He'll be day to day, from here.
Was this a usage thing or a particular thing in the game against the Jazz?
No, I think in a season like this, with so much news about COVID, there can be other basketball-related minor things, and that's what this is.
And Tyler, how did he look at shoot around, and how did now that we see he's coming back tonight?
He's put in some really solid days. I was able to watch his workout yesterday. Much different than it was, 2 days ago, where he was a little bit limited. He had full mobility. And the most important thing was, how did he respond this morning at shoot around? He was able to go through the full shoot around, so he'll be ready.
And how nice is it to have other contributors like Kendrick and Gabe and Max that can be plug and play when these moments almost seem unceasing? Thank you.
Well, that is the one silver lining about this season. I've mentioned it before. If there's any team in any locker room or group of guys that can handle this season and this type of unpredictability and handling adversity, it's this group. There's been a lot of things that none of us had any kind of experience, in all of our careers. And our guys have handled it admirably, and that's how you get better. So while we were going through that tough stretch, there were some real quality games and quality moments where guys have been able to step up, gain some confidence, do some different things. And then now when we have more guys available, they still have that skill set.
Next, we have Tim Reynolds.
Hi, Eric. You've got 3 left before the break, obviously. Have you guys talked about not thinking ahead to wherever it is you'll be allowed to go next weekend? Have you had to talk about just staying locked in on the here and now and not thinking about the break and a few days off yet?
Yeah, a couple different instances. We talked about that on the road trip, not about the break, but not thinking about getting home. And then, once you get home, I think it would be normal for people to think, about that. This has been, a very eventful first half. But our guys also understand, how much work we still have to do, and we have to stay present. That's been a strength of this team, even with all the adversity. Is just taking on the task at hand, and we have an important game against a team that we're jostling with right now. Both teams understand that.
I apologize because you do have this game and the same team on Tuesday and one more. But we all know what the numbers were testing-wise when camps opened. Have you talked? Has the league had any communication? Have you talked to guys about that? Obviously they're still going to be tested every day, but how concerned are you that when guys get out of that routine, you could be coming back to some problems if guys don't do the right things?
Yeah, I think that goes without saying. I think there's been enough things that have happened so far in this first half of the season that have caused everybody to be on ultra alert and continue to be even more vigilant on all the protocols. I'll be honest, Tim, I could probably answer that better in a couple of days. I literally haven't given that, much thought. So much of it has been about the now, make sure we get everybody doing what they need to do in terms of daily protocols, to be available and make sure that we're improving and putting forth our best game.
Thank you, Spo.
Next, we have Jason Jackson.
Spo, I know you don't have it tonight, but how nice was it over the last 11 games having at least a foundation of establishing consistency? I know it's the thing you've been wanting from the team mostly, but it had to be nice to at least be able to roll out the same crew.
Yeah, but there's things you can control and things that you can't control, and I think that's been the discipline of this team. Let's focus on playing our identity, competing at a high level, and doing that possession by possession, night in, night out, where we can bank on certain things, regardless of who's in the lineup or not. It's, there's been a lot of moving parts for a lot of different teams. Whoever can handle and manage that and improve during the course of the season has a better chance of being successful.
And what have you liked most about, particularly the fourth quarters over the last few games? Your defensive numbers are just fantastic.
That we've really been intentional to commit to better defense and better efforts and finishing plays. We had some tough losses, a couple of them here at home, where after review, there were a lot of good things that we did offensively, and we had open shots. We just happened to miss them, but we didn't finish plays defensively, and that's really what cost us some of these tough losses. And we've been better in that regard, and it also helps, when you do make some shots. But we have to continue to be better and more committed on that side of the floor.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, that was Eric Spoelstra earlier today. I'm sorry. Now let's go and listen to a couple of guys that also talked earlier today. We're going to start with Kelly Olynyk, and then we'll go and listen to KZ Okpala. So you guys don't necessarily listen to them often.
It's good to see your minutes are the highest they've been in your 4 years here, as you know. It seems like that you can go stretches without feeling at risk maybe being yanked out of the lineup, more so this year than past years. Is that a comforting feeling to you? Do you take any solace in that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's nice to play consistently like that. For me and us right now, we're just trying to do whatever we can to climb our way back up the standings and get back in the right state of mind.
Now, when you're on the court, the team's played very well. I know your shooting probably isn't exactly where you want it. You've consistently been a 35 to 40+% three-point guy. You're not at that level now. Do you have an explanation for that? Have you and Rob looked at tape or done anything from a mechanical standpoint?
Yeah, obviously, shots haven't been going in the way you want, this year, especially recently. But you just gotta keep shooting, keep playing a role. Obviously, yeah, got it with Rob last week, so iron some things out, and hopefully just stick to what you're doing, and things will come. Percentages average out in the end, but it's tough.
Thanks.
Next we have Ira Winderman.
Kelly, I know you never get too comfortable, and no one does in this league, and especially in this team with the way the rotations changed. But now that it's been 14 straight games starting and you're trending toward maybe the most starts of any season in your career, is there a certain comfort going into games knowing that things seem to have stabilized in the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're definitely getting comfortable in your unit, in your role, and right now it's just about playing your role. Everybody playing their role and making sure that we're contributing positively to wins, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes it's not the role that you think of or want, but it's just the role that that you have to play to help our team win. And like you said, just kind of having that stable unit rotation role, definitely aids in that.
Coach has always told us that one thing that bothers him way more than players missing shots is players not taking shots they should. He pointed out there was one game Max, I think, missed 7 in a row, 3-pointers, and he told him, you better shoot the next one. Is that sort of been your mindset, that this team, that no matter what you're shooting from threes, if you get it in the right spot with the right shot, you darn well better launch? And is that sort of been re-emphasized also, even when maybe they aren't going in?
Yeah, definitely. They're good shots for our team. And that's kind of what it's about, is making good shots for your team. Obviously, everybody wants to make every shot. That's not going to happen. Sometimes you're not going to shoot as well as you want. Obviously it's been a little bit of a stretch here, but you put in the work, behind the scenes. You know what you're capable of, your teammates and your coaches, whoever that is, and those are good shots for us. And even that game you're talking about, we want Max to shoot that one, and 6, 7 more if he's open. If they're good shots for our team, they're good shots for our team.
Thanks, Kelly.
Next, we have Tim Reynolds.
Good morning, KO. How are you?
Good morning.
Couple questions for you. The league announced this morning that another game, the Raptors game today against Chicago's off. I think we're up to like 30 now because of the virus that have been called, but like 500 have been played. The fact that they've gotten like 95% of the season into this point, does that surprise you? I mean, I guess how do you sort of assess how successful from a league standpoint this year has been just getting the vast majority of games in?
That's a good question. Obviously I expected we would get a bunch of games in. I expected, if one person gets it, unfortunately, it's going to spread fast on a team. So you kind of never know what the layout's going to look like and, how they're going to deal with it. I think they've done a fairly good job, with the testing and the protocols and, making sure that we're taking precautions when we can. There's some things that you can't control. I think, I don't know, how to judge a success. I think, obviously we've done, like you said, over 95% of the games, that's definitely, positive. And, hopefully, going forward, we can continue it. Obviously we would love to see fans back in the arenas, travel, all that kind of stuff, kind of be permitted and allowed, when it's safe to do so. But, right now I think it's about, still trying to, get the games in as safely and timely as we can and continue with that. And, hopefully that, as we go through All-Star break and the second half of the season, it continues on a positive upswing.
When you get to when you're on the road and get to a hotel at 2 or 3 o'clock and you've got to be downstairs to get tested at 8:30, it's just part of the deal. I get it, but has it gotten less annoying? Is there almost like an acceptance, like we're sort of all in this together kind of feeling around the league that it is a hardship on you guys, but it's what you have to do right now? Is there been a little more acceptance, or does it still kind of suck in that regard? We have to get up early to get these tests sometimes.
And I think it kind of goes both ways. I think sometimes you're like, all right, this is life now. I mean, this is what it's like. You got to just go along with it. You got to get tested in the morning, at night, after the game, whatever it is, fly, get in at 3, wake up at 8, get tested again. Whatever it is, you're kind of like, all right, this is just my life now. And then there's other days you wake up and you're like, man, I'm over this. But that's just kind of human nature, natural, thoughts and emotions. Just like probably you guys are on Monday morning trying to get up to go to work. You're like, man, I'm over this sometimes. But it kind of ebbs and flows. But we know what it's about, and how important it is to continue the safety of ourselves, everybody in the organization, and across the league. So you're doing it for the greater good and making sure that the season can continue and we can provide basketball to the world. And I think that's kind of the bigger picture of things.
When we get up Monday mornings, what makes you think we have weekends off, Kelly? You have a game tonight. We don't have weekends off.
You're right, but tomorrow's Monday morning. So when you get up, you tell me what you feel like.
I've the same I felt this morning, the same thing you thought I was going to say tomorrow. Thanks, KO. Good luck tonight.
There we go. Thank you.
Next, we have Cooper Moorhead.
Hey, Kelly. You guys are facing, assuming he plays, an offensive engine type of guy in Trae Young tonight. You guys really want to protect the paint, shrink the floor, but Trae is the kind of guy who can kind of hit every pass that he needs to make, and he can hit shooters that are more than one pass away. When you're not on the ball, if you're not switched on to Trae, what are the other 4 guys who are not on the ball with him? Like, what sort of defensive principles do you have to adhere to when he has the ball?
I mean, like you said, we want to protect the paint. We don't want to give anything easy. So, you still got to be in the gaps and, make sure that you're help oriented and ready to help. But you always got to be down and ready. Like you said, he's going to, whip the ball around. You kind of never know where it's going to go. And, especially, when he, gets into the middle and, has kind of a lot of options. You got to be ready to close out and you kind of make him make one more pass or one more play and just kind of scramble, rotate, and help each other from there.
Is he the kind of guy where, your positioning has to be that much more exact. If you're half a step out of position one way or the other, he can punish you a little bit more than another point guard who's not quite the level passer that he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, got a wide variety and array of passes that he can make, and like you said, you always got to be on your toes, got to be ready. You can't be leaning one way or the other because he'll make you pay. And there's a bunch of guys in this league that'll do that, and like you said, he's one of them.
Thank you.
Next we have Crystal Saltas.
Hello, Kelly. I would
Hello.
like to ask you how important for you is to finish the first half of the season with the same way that you have the streak, the 5 straight wins. How important for you is to finish the first half with the wins?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you need as many wins as you can. So we got 3 more before this break, and our goal is to get all 3. And we're going in tonight just trying to get 1 win, and then we can go from there. But we want to finish on a high note. And, everything you can do before this break, counts for after this break. So we got to finish strong and continue this momentum.
All right, thanks, Kelly.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was Kelly Olynyk. We already have the starting lineup for tonight, as you guys know, or you may not know. Jimmy Butler's out tonight. His knee is not 100%, so he's not going to play tonight from the get-go. He's not going to play at all. He's not going to be available for Eric Spoelstra tonight. So this is the starting lineup for tonight. We have Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic in Butler's place, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk, and Bam Adebayo. Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk, and Bam Adebayo. That's the starting lineup for tonight's matchup against the Atlanta Hawks. Let's go and listen to the press conference, one of the press conferences. Let's go and listen to Bam Adebayo since he is playing tonight. Let's listen to what he had to say a couple of nights ago after they beat the Utah Jazz. So let's go and listen to Bam Adebayo from Friday night.
All right, Bam, we will get started with Anthony Chang.
Hey, Bam, you were obviously questionable entering the game. You ended up playing. What was the process like to get ready to play? Did you ever doubt that you were going to play today, and how did it feel out there?
Everybody knows me around here, man. I want to be in every game. I feel like that's the best thing about me. I'm always available. So, I feel like it takes the stress off Spo a little bit because, I'm playing every game. But he looked real worried when I was like, hey, look, I'm going to be okay. Don't you worry. So, it felt good. Went out there, got a W. So I'm happy. My body don't hurt as much.
Good. And regarding Goran, when he's playing like he did tonight and healthy and, attacking a pick and roll like that and attacking drop coverage, what does that add to the offense, just having him there and in that role where he could be that scorer that you guys have?
You can tell, we've missed Goran. So, it's good to see him back. It's good to see him, in his mode, since he's been off so long. So I'm happy for him, man. I want to continue to keep being that player he is.
Thanks, man.
Next, we have Barry Jackson.
Hi, Bam. You guys out-rebounded them by 14. They're obviously a good rebounding team. You had 11. Do you have a threshold for yourself where you think it's important for you personally to get to 10 boards a game?
No. It's just instinct. It's just instincts. I don't base my performance off of stats. It's been a couple games where I have 4 rebounds and 10 points. But, it feels like I'm the most impactful player on the court. So that's my job, be the most impactful player on the court. That's what I get paid to do. So the numbers are good, though. Don't get me wrong, but, nothing's better than being like one of those dudes that impacted the game, but the stat sheet doesn't say it. And I feel like you have guys like that, it makes it easier to score, makes it easier to defend. My job, take the load off everybody else. their life easier.
Thank you.
Next, we have Tim Reynolds.
Hey, Bam.
What up, bro?
What changed on the bus ride from Golden State to Sacramento? Because the way you finished the Warriors game and the way you guys have played since, it's been not the same team.
Okay. I'm gonna re-say this. I'm tired of getting our ass kicked.
Again, yes.
That's the best way I can put it. I mean, there's no way to put that other than that. No, my bad. There's no other way to put that.
I know Jimmy said this, don't get complacent. You're not there yet. This isn't a good team yet. Still a lot you can work on. Spo doesn't believe in statement wins, really. But that team has been the best team in the league by a lot and in a lot of different ways. What does this win say about what you guys can be?
I feel like everybody counted us out, you know. Same as last year. Everybody counted us out, didn't expect us to be good. So, you know, we just we're just taking it step by step, game by game, and just trying to keep stacking these W's.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have Wes Lammy.
Hey, Bam. Congratulations on the win. And also congratulations on Team Jordan. I wanted to ask you a two-part question about that. Obviously, we know about MJ's legacy, but what does it mean for you, obviously, your legacy just off the court regarding what you've been doing there and what you've been building on?
What do you mean off the court?
Your community work off the court, stuff that you do off the court, and your legacy regarding that.
My legacy or Jordan's legacy?
Your legacy. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
what do you want to build it? Mm-hmm.
I don't consider that a legacy. I just consider that me doing, you know, some that, like, how do I put this? I don't consider it a part of my legacy. It's just something that, like, I love to do. You know, I love to help people. I love to make somebody's life easier. Hence, you know, my job, my role on this team is to make everybody's life easier. So, you know, I kind of look at it like that. You know, I feel like that's a job of mine. You know, me personally, you know, I want to help people at the end of the day. I want to make sure somebody's got a meal for Thanksgiving. I want to make sure a kid that's going to college has that MacBook they need, you know. And it's just stuff like that, man. You know, I could spark one kid. You know, I could change some kid's decision on whether to pick the streets or be in the books. So I feel like that's my job. You know, just trying to change this world around from, you know, kids being in the streets to, you know, kids want to be educated. And that's how I look at it.
Next, we have Christos Saltas.
Oh, Bam, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it, my man.
I would like to ask you, that 48-minute effort tonight against the Jazz is a part of Heat identity. And also what it means for you to have kids who wear your shirt and want to be like you. What it means for you?
It means a lot. Just for the simple fact somebody's looking at me as a role model, and, you know, want to be like me. They want to be. They want to carry themselves how I carry myself off the court and on the court. So for me, it's just it's a gift because, you know, my whole focus is to change lives, and the kids wants to be like me. You know, I hope that can change his life and, you know, his decisions.
Next, we have Andres Lopez from Couture Sports, Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Bam, I kind of want to hop back on that Jordan topic. Congrats on signing with Jordan. My question is simply, Why Jordan, and what are your aspirations with the brand?
Why Jordan? I mean, it kind of explains itself. But I feel like, being part of that brand, it's only a select couple people in that Jordan brand family. So being able to be a part of that is just, I'm a family guy. So they say they like family, and just conversating with them, it feels like family. So it's the right pick for me. And moving forward, you never know. Jordan might be nice, might get a shoe. You never know. So, but I'm gonna just enjoy it.
All right, Bam, that's it. Thank you.
Black Lives Matter, people.
Right, that was Bam Adebayo. Thank you to all of you that are joining us right now in the post-game show. Of course, some of you don't know, but Jimmy Butler is not playing tonight. He's not available for Eric Spoelstra. Tyler Hero is, though. He's going to be part of this rotation today because the starting lineup is the following that you're looking at right now. Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk, and Bam Adebayo. That's going to be the starting five. Of course, Kendrick Nunn, Goran Dragic, Duncan Robinson, Kelly Olynyk, and Bam Adebayo. The game starts around 8 p.m. East time. You guys know how the NBA rolls with this TV time. So let's go ahead and continue listening to some of the press conferences the Miami Heat players had on Friday right after they beat the Utah Jazz. And let's go now with Goran Dragic, who's going to be starting in tonight's game against the Atlanta Hawks.
But, in the end of the day, it shows with the wins. And, we didn't win a lot of games, but I seen progress, going at least at the right directions. And hopefully, now we feel great. Finally, we're back to, that Miami Heat basketball that we want to play. And, we still got 3 games left until the break. So try to get all 3.
Players always say that they can't be themselves until they're healthy. You obviously took a cautious approach with the ankle, wanted to make sure you were closer, and yet you told us the other day you still weren't 100%.
Yeah.
If you're doing this and you're not 100%, how good do you feel about your overall game then when you get to 100%?
I feel great. I feel confident enough. I've been through a lot. This is my 12, 13 years in the league. So, I just need consistency, try to stay on the floor as much as possible. This year it's a little bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I was in a protocol and I lost a couple of games, then the ankle injury. And, it's been up and down for me. But, hopefully finally now I can stay with the team. And, when you have consistency, it makes it easier. I know how to play basketball. That's not even a problem. So, yeah, health number 1 and consistency.
Thank you, Goran.
Next, we have Barry Jackson.
Hi, Goran. As good as you guys were in the playoffs last year with you and Bam and Jimmy all playing at your best, did tonight remind you of that at all, about how good this team can be when all 3 of you were playing at this level?
Yeah, definitely. It feels like we are right back from the bubble. But, we have to be realistic. I don't know how many games we 3 guys played together. It was not much. It takes time to get used to it, playing with the different lineups and everything. But, like I said before, hopefully now we can stay on the floor together and, try to get back to that bubble Miami Heat.
And one other quick thing. Obviously, we've seen playmaking from Bam for years and Jimmy for years, but both are at career highs in assists. Just the value, Goran, of having that type of high-level playmaking from your 3 and your 5. How valuable is that?
It's really valuable, especially how our offense is constructed. You want to put a ball into Jimmy's hands, he's going to get inside the lane and make the right reads. And we can play through Bam on the high post, and he's great at those handoffs with Duncan. And even from pick and roll, when you hit that pocket pass to Bam, he's making great decision to a corner 3 or to open guys. So those guys are stars, and for a reason.
Thank you.
Next we have Christos Saltas.
Hello, Goran. Congratulations on the win and the performance as well. This win, with the way that you won tonight, is a kind of a statement about the potential of this team this season. And also, do you believe that effort, the 48-minute effort, is a kind of is a part of Heat identity?
I mean, we know what we're capable of doing. We just need to be more consistent. And like I said before, it's tough to reach that if players are in and out from the lineup, and it's really tough to get that. But now the last 10 games we really click as a team, and we finally get some bodies back. And tonight was a great example of what we can do. It was an all-team effort. We defend well. We out-rebound them by 14, and I think so that was a big key.
Next we have Andres Lopez from Control Sports, Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Goran, Jimmy had nothing but praise when he was asked about you, so I'm going to ask you about him. What do you think of his performance tonight and what it took to take down probably the hottest team in the NBA right now? And you guys took him down tonight, and Jimmy played a big role. So what do you think of that?
I mean, Jimmy always plays a big role. He's our leader. He's our superstar, and you can see what he did last year, and he's continued to doing this year. The guy has, triple doubles almost each game. He's our leader, and only good things. He's a great teammate, funny guy to be around, and all love.
Thanks, G. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that was Goran Dragic a couple of nights ago. Remember, the Miami Heat, it's on a 5-game winning streak, and of course, trying to get into the top 4 of the Eastern Conference. So thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. If you like betting on sports, go to PricePicks.com, use the promo code 5FIVE, and get a 100% match on your deposit. For example, tonight I got Goran Dragic going over 6 assists on this game, and I have also Stephen Curry. Let me check what's the exact number that I put there. So I have both going over the estimate that they have there in Price Picks. That's really easy. You don't have to pick games. You don't have to go for a full stat line. Just pick 1 points, rebounds, stat, and have fun with that going to PricePicks.com. So it was, Steve Curry going over 5.5, so 6 assists, and Dragic going over 4.5 assists. So that's my bet for the night. You can check it out. You can play NBA, baseball, that's just starting now, soccer, NHL, whatever you like, tennis, you name it, they have it there on PricePicks.com. So thank you guys very much for joining us. And remember, we'll be back here for the post-game show as soon as the game's over on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. So have a good one. Go enjoy the Miami Heat playing the Atlanta Hawks, and we'll see you here back in a couple of hours. Bye-bye.